Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. This is your Manchester United versus Atlanta preview. It's the Champions League group stage, round 3. It's Wednesday night, 8 o'clock kickoff at Old Trafford. Manchester United are coming into this game on the back of a 4-2 defeat to Leicester at the King Power Stadium. It was the first time Manchester United lost away from home in the Premier League since January 2020. Manchester United are now winless in their last 3 league games, and Manchester United have only won 2 of their last 7 games in all competitions. So reflecting on that, pressure has mounted on Solskjaer. The vast majority of Manchester United fans are demanding Ole out. But like I updated you yesterday, The Athletic have said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe and Solskjaer will be allowed to spend up to 70 million in January. So Solskjaer will not be sacked by Manchester United despite Man United's poor form. The goals against Leicester came from Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford for Manchester United. Mason Greenwood scored a stunning goal, and it was good to see Marcus Rashford score on his comeback. It was Marcus Rashford's first appearance since the Europa League final last season. By the way, Marcus Rashford's camp are upset with Solskjaer after Solskjaer told Marcus Rashford to prioritise his football. Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while. Don't forget Rashford had to have surgery on his shoulder. The other week Rashford scored twice in that behind closed doors game against Blackburn. Leicester's goals came from Youri Tielemans. He scored a very good goal, chipped De Gea. Soyuncu scored. Jamie Vardy scored. And Patson Daka scored. So I'm hoping Manchester United can get back to winning ways in this game against Atlanta. So far in the Champions League group stage, Manchester United have lost 1 and won 1, because obviously we lost to Young Boys 2-1. Solskjaer was accountable for that defeat because his tactics were wrong and his substitutions were wrong. Lingard cost us that game against Young Boys with that back pass he played in the 95th minute of stoppage time, was it? We beat Villarreal 2-1. Ronaldo saved us in that game. Scored in the 95th minute of stoppage time. Atlanta, they're top of the group at the moment. Atlanta are sitting, 6th in Serie A. They won their last game 4-1. Atlanta's current manager is Gasperini. I'll name some of Atlanta's players to you. Obviously they've got Joseph Martinez. They've got Jurgen Damm. There's a few others here. They've got Moreno, who's one of their midfielders. They've got Miles Robinson, one of their defenders. Santiago Sosa, one of their midfielders. George Bello, one of their defenders. Rossetto, one of their midfielders. Eric Torres, one of their forwards. Ronald Hernandez, one of their defenders. Jackson Conway, one of their forwards. Brooks Lennon, George Campbell, two of their defenders. Anton Walks, one of their defenders. Mikey Ambrose, one of their defenders. Brad Guzan, one of their goalkeepers. Any more? Tyler Wolf, one of their forwards. So yeah, they are a lot of Atlanta's players. To be honest with you, I don't really know much about Atlanta. By the way, they've got Zaba Costa as well. They brought him in the summer transfer window. I think they got him from Chelsea. Atlanta do have some injuries as well. Solskjaer will probably make some changes in this game from the 4-2 defeat to Leicester. Obviously, Raphael Varane won't be playing. Raphael Varane is out with a groin injury for a few weeks. Varane came off injured in France's Nations League final against Spain. He went down holding his leg. He got replaced in the 43rd minute by Daya Upamecano. So as far as I'm aware, Varane's the only injury we've got. And Wan-Bissaka is available for this game. He obviously didn't play against Villarreal because he was suspended. Bissaka got sent off in our 2-1 defeat to Young Boys for stamping on Martins. Fred and Cavani should be back for this game because Fred and Cavani didn't play against Leicester at the weekend due to personal reasons. Manchester United have got a massive game on Sunday against Liverpool. Later on today, I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for this game against Atlanta. Now, Antonio Conte is the favourite to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United. Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. Earlier on this season, it said Conte would accept the Man United job if Solskjaer was to be sacked, and Conte made it clear that he wants a winning project. So reflecting on that, he rejected Arsenal and he rejected Tottenham. Conte has got a good pedigree behind him. He won a lot of silverware in his home nation, and when he was in his first season at Chelsea, he won the Premier League. There is United fans demanding Conte in, but on the other side of things has been Man United fans demanding Zidane in to replace Solskjaer. Will Solskjaer get until the end of this season at Manchester United? Well, if bad results persist, I'm very sceptical about it. I think if bad results persist, Solskjaer could be sacked by Christmas. This season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. And I did say at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. But I just feel as though that the expectations are far too high for Solskjaer to exceed. And I just think Solskjaer is in a position that he shouldn't be in. Revert back to what I've said so many times before. Solskjaer's got to win a trophy as Manchester United manager. He's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. And earlier on this season, Solskjaer did mention that we must leave a legacy of silverware. Well, Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. We're not going to win the Premier League under Solskjaer. But in reality, we should be winning the Premier League, like I've mentioned before, because Man United have got a title-winning squad. You know, the squad must be worth around 805 million, and even earlier on this season, Solskjaer told his current Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble-winning team that Ollie was part of. Solskjaer is out of excuses. Solskjaer received very good backing in the summer transfer window. You know, John Murtough backed him, Darren Fletcher backed him, Ed Woodward has backed Solskjaer, and the Glazers backed Solskjaer. Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. We spent around 141 million. You know, we brought 4 players in. You know, we brought Tom Eaton in on a free from Villa, just brought him in as a backup. Brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. Solskjaer's enjoyed like 5 transfer windows now as permanent Man United manager. We made a mistake giving Solskjaer that new contract in the summer, because I can assure Solskjaer will not see out that contract. Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. If Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager in December, he'll be celebrating 3 years in charge of Man United. But there's a lot of United fans that have got strong reservations about Solskjaer's decision making, because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. And he doesn't have a proven pedigree as a manager, because he's won nothing as Manchester United manager yet, like I've mentioned. Before us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells with them. And before then, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. He only enjoyed a short tenure with Cardiff. And Ollie managed the Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of the team grow and develop. So there you go. But reflecting now on Solskjaer's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learnt a few different things on the job, but there's still plenty of things Solskjaer's got to learn because he's still a young coach. I have heavily criticised Solskjaer a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United. But despite that, he is our best manager since Ferguson, and there is positives regarding Ollie. You know, there's not all negatives regarding Ollie, like I've mentioned so many times before. Solskjaer has brought consistency back in certain aspects. we have enjoyed some good periods under Ollie, where he's actually got the best out of the team. I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. That's a positive. Solskjaer has more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. He has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far, Solskjaer has signed 14 players. In the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odion Ighalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he brought Edison Cavani in, Donny van der Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. And in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Tom Heaton in, Jadon Sancho, Varane and re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years. So we spent around 441 million under Solskjaer. Solskjaer loaned a few players out in the summer transfer window this year. Loaned Brandon Williams out, Andres Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe, Ethan Laird, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. Ollie's also got rid of quite a lot of players permanently. Ollie also offloaded Daniel James in the summer transfer window. He was the only player we sold in this year's summer transfer window. That was disappointing from a Man United perspective. Solskjaer also released Sergio Romero and Joel Pereira. Also in January, he offloaded Ighalo, Fossa Mensah and Rojo. He's also offloaded players like Borthwick Jackson, James Wilson. Also offloaded Young, Valencia, Smalling, Darmian, Fellaini. Fellaini left back in January 2019. He offloaded Angel Gomez, Ander Herrera, Sanchez and Lukaku. So are they all the players he's got rid of permanently? If they're not there, a lot of the players he's got rid of permanently. Some progress has been made under Ollie, because as you all know, he's got us to semi-finals, got us to the FA Cup quarter-final last season, and last season he got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final as Man United manager. But unfortunately, we didn't win it. Last season we finished second, and we finished third in Solskjaer's third full season. But like I said before, what Solskjaer produced in his first full season, his second full season, he needs to build on that this season. We have extended a lot of players' contracts under Solskjaer. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer did mention that he wants new contracts for 5 players. That's Pogba, Fernandes, Rashford, Shaw and Harry Maguire. But in general, you've got to turn around and say that Solskjaer has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Didn't expect him to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect, I am shocked. Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. 3 managers have been sacked since Ferguson. We sacked Moyes, Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho, and we're not even really known as a sacking football club, because we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers. On my last video, I gave you the news on Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba did say that something needs to change at Manchester United after Man United's 4-2 defeat to Leicester. So, is Paul Pogba Solskjaer out? Pogba played in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester, didn't really do much. But Pogba has enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season. He's already got 7 assists in the league. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. Now, last week, Andy Mitten from The Athletic said that Manchester United offered Paul Pogba a £400,000 a week contract to stay at Manchester United. That would see Pogba become the second highest earner at the club. At the moment, Pogba receives around 290 grand a week. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. Earlier on this season, it said Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. Earlier on this season, though, it said Pogba wants to stay at Man United and sign a new £400,000 a week contract, and Paul Scholes backed Pogba to stay at United. Now, the Daily Mail recently said that Real Madrid are ready to offer Pogba $12 million a year in wages and a $25 million transfer bonus, as Pogba's agent Mino Raiola is pushing his client towards Real Madrid. Last week, Spanish publication AS said that Real Madrid are back in the race to sign Pogba on a free transfer when his contract at Man United expires at the end of the season. Well, Real Madrid think Pogba could help convince Mbappe to join next year. Pogba's been relentlessly linked with Real Madrid before. During the international break, Pogba refused to rule out a Juventus return. Pogba did admit that he always speaks to his ex-Juventus teammates. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. Earlier on this season, Pogba's agent Mino Raiola suggested that Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer. PSG have been in for Pogba. League 10 Sports said not so long ago that PSG are ready to offer $500,000 a week in wages to Pogba if Pogba decides to leave Man United next summer. PSG wanted Pogba in the summer transfer window but couldn't get him because they got Messi. It recently said Pogba was offered to Barcelona, and Inter Milan have been in for him before, so reflect on all of that. Pogba's had a long running transfer saga. You know, this season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and he's our most expensive signing at the moment, Pogba, because we paid £89 million for him. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. But like I've said, I'm expecting Manchester United to sell players next year. I think Martial will go next year. Lingard will go next year. Don't forget Lingard recently rejected a new Man United contract offer. Cavani will go next year. Mata will go next year. I think Matic will go next year. I'm hearing that Barcelona are interested in him. I want us to sell Fred next year. Van der Beek will go next year because Van der Beek's not getting enough game time at Man United. You know, Van der Beek played no part against Leicester recently. Tellez will go next year, I think. Jones and Bailly will go next year. I think Dalot will go next year. And Dean Henderson may go out on loan because it did mention earlier on this season that Henderson wants a loan move away from Man United after De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. But you know, Man United should be doing much better than they are. Look at a squad. It's a good squad, like I mentioned earlier on in the video. Obviously, you've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo played against Leicester recently. Looked anonymous for the vast majority of that game. He did have a couple of chances. Comfortable saves though for Schmeichel. Prior to the game, Ronaldo informed Solskjaer that he wants to play in every single league game after he was left on the bench against Everton. Don't forget, Ronaldo was annoyed with Solskjaer after Man United's 1-1 draw of Everton. He stormed down the tunnel. Solskjaer got heavily criticised for not starting Ronaldo in that game, but despite that, Ollie said he had no regrets over not starting Ronaldo against Everton. He did come on though in the game against Everton before the international break. Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month for September, didn't he? I think he's done well though since he's re-signed. So far he's scored 5 goals in all competitions. Don't forget, during the international break, Ronaldo got a hat-trick for Portugal against Luxembourg. You know, you've got Marcus Rashford, that's good. You know, good to see him scoring his comeback. We need to keep Rashford on the left wing because that's where he's mostly effective. You've got Greenwood, that's good. You know, like I said, Greenwood scored against Leicester. That was his 4th Premier League goal of the season. You've got Bruno Fernandes, that's good. You know, he got an assist for Greenwood's goal against Leicester. But apart from that, didn't really do much against Leicester. You've got Cavani, that's good. You've got Van der Beek, that's good. But Van der Beek doesn't get in the team enough. You've got Jadon Sancho, that's a good player, but Sancho's enjoyed a very bad start to his Manchester United career. But there is now fans getting on his back. But I think Solskjaer's to blame because Solskjaer is playing Sancho out of position. You know, he's playing him on the left wing. He played him on the left wing against Leicester. He should be on the right wing because that's Sancho's predominant position. He's far superior on the right wing to how he is on the left wing. You know? But I've said before, it does take some players time to settle in. And I said Sancho will do well at Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him correctly. You've got Pogba, that's good. You've got Luke Shaw, that's a good left back. But he hasn't been great so far this season. Where's the Luke Shaw from last season? I presume as the season goes on, he'll regain his form. Harry Maguire, you know, he's good when he wants to be. He's had his good games at Man United, he's had his bad games. He was abysmal against Leicester. I'm surprised Maguire played against Leicester. He was just back too soon by Ollie. Maguire's just come back from a calf injury. Maguire made howlers for Leicester's 1st and 4th goals. You've got Varane, that's good. He's done well in the vast majority of the games he's played in so far for Man United, but I think he's had a couple of games where he's looked off the pace. As you all know, Varane's out with a groin injury for a few weeks. Bailly's a good centre-half, but obviously he finds it difficult to get into the team. Obviously with the arrival of Varane in the summer, plus for some reason Solskjaer prefers Lindelof ahead of Bailly. Bailly's injury prone, that's my element of concern about him. You've got Bissaka, that's a good right back, but there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve. And you've got De Gea, that's a very, very good goalkeeper, and he's done well so far this season. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.